Hello everyone, this is your educator Priyanka Thakur. I'm teaching you life sciences and welcome you all on our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. So today in this video we are going to talk about peripheral nervous system, the division of peripheral nervous system, which will include autonomous nervous system and somatic nervous system, and then autonomous nervous system is further divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So we are going to talk about all these things, and if you think that you know each and everything, that there must be something that you are not aware of. So do watch the video till the end. If you don't understand anything, you can comment down in the comment box. Okay, let's start with our today's topic, peripheral nervous system. See, we know that peripheral nervous system will communicate with different parts of our body with the help of certain kinds of nerves known as cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So, the nervous system, which is present outside to the brain and spinal cord, is referred to as peripheral nervous system. What exactly is a nerve? What is a ganglion? What are tracts? You should know the meaning of these terms. Like when I'm saying nerves, I'm not talking about whole neuron. It means I'm just talking about bundle of axons. When I'm saying ganglion, it means I'm just talking about group of cell bodies. And the nerves are the groups of axon present outside your central nervous system. In the central nervous system, they are named as tracts. So there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. And these cranial nerves and spinal nerves, they together constitute the peripheral nervous system, right? So cranial nerve, why they are named so, we will now talk about cranial nerves. Why they are named so? They are named so because they arise from the brain inside the cranial cavity. Then they pass through various foramina in the bones of cranium. How many pairs of cranial nerves? 12 pairs of cranial nerves. And each of them has a name and a number as well. Okay, so what does these numbers are indicating? Listen, these are not like 1, 2, 3, 4. They are in Roman. Okay, they are in Roman numerals, not numericals, they are in Roman numerals. Okay, so these number indicate the order from the anterior to the posterior in which these nerve arises from the brain. Okay, and the name of these nerves indicate the structure innervated by these nerves. Okay, or the principal function they are going to perform. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and 2 pair arise from the neuron cell bodies located in the forebrain, and 10 pair arises from the midbrain and hindbrain. So let's talk about your cranial nerves. Olfactory, it arises from the olfactory lobe in the brain, and optic also arises from the optic lobe in the midbrain. So these are the 2 pairs that will arise from your brain. These both are sensory. Olfactory functions in the sense of smelling, and optic is used for the sight. It is present, it innervates the retina of the eye. Oculomotor is formed from the floor of midbrain. It is motor. Whenever I say motor, that particular nerve will be responsible for some kind of movement. So oculomotor is a motor neuron, and it is involved in the movement of eyeball, iris, lens, eyelid, and constriction of the pupil. Trochlear nerve, fourth one is the trochlear nerve, also arises from the floor of midbrain, and it is also a motor neuron. Okay, motor nerve, not neuron, it is also a motor nerve, and its function is of rotation of eyeball. Then fifth nerve is trigeminal nerve, and it is divided into 3: ophthalmic, maxillary, and mandibular. It arises from the ventral surface of pons feruli. It is a type of mixed nerve, and its main function is of the movement of tongue, jaw muscles, which we use for chewing. When you're chewing, your muscles are working, and these muscles are working under the influence of your trigeminal nerves. Maxillary, mandibular, you should know about these things. Okay, then comes abducens, present on the lateral side of medulla. It is a type of motor neuron and is used for the rotation of the eyeball. Okay, so you understand each and everything now. Let me show you the position. This is the olfactory nerve that is arising from the olfactory lobe, and this is the optic nerve which is arising from the optic lobe. Oculomotor nerve is arising from the floor of midbrain trochlear nerve is arising from the floor of midbrain trigeminal nerve is arising from the ventral surface of pons feroli, and then comes your abducens nerve that is arising from the medulla, and all other are arising from the medulla oblongata. All of these other nerves are arising from your medulla oblongata. You can check it out, okay, from its lateral sides or from its floor, but all other nerves are arising from the medulla oblongata. Okay, this is your first your pons. One is pons feroli. Pons, from pons arises the trigeminal. Okay, then comes medulla, and your cerebellum is present outside your brainstem. Okay, so let's talk about facial nerve. If you want me to give you any kind of like mnemonics to learn all these your nerve, cranial nerve, you can ask this thing in the comment section. I will be telling you the trick in the comment section itself. Okay. See, next come facial nerve. Again, see, medulla, side or floor, mixed. Function is taste, facial expression, chewing and movement of neck. Auditory, also known as your, you just read a vestibulocochlear nerve, medulla, lateral or floor of medulla, sensory, hearing and equilibrium, maintains the equilibrium of the body. Then comes your glossopharyngeal nerve, also arises from the lateral side of medulla oblongata, a type of mixed nerve used for taste, touch and movement of pharynx is the main important function. Next comes is your vagus, a very important nerve. Number is 10th, arises from the side of medulla oblongata, kind of mixed nerve, and responsible for sound production, for your respiratory reflexes, for your peristaltic movement of your alimentary canal, speech, swallowing, secretion of gastric glands, and inhibition of heartbeat. Spinally accessory nerves, or simply we sometimes call it as accessory nerves. So it arises from the floor of medulla, means lateral side of medulla oblongata, kind of motor nerve, and the muscles of pharynx, larynx, neck, shoulder movement are all are under the influence of the spinal accessory nerve. Then come hypoglossal. It is involved for the movement of tongue. There was also some other nerve was responsible for the movement of tongue. Do you remember movement of tongue? It was trigeminal nerve. Okay, so now remember your first, second and eighth nerves are sensory nerves, but you have five cranial nerves which are motor nerves. These are third, 4, 6, 11 and 12, and you have 4 mixed cranial nerves which are 5, 7, 9 and 10. You should remember this thing. Fine. Now let's talk about spinal nerves. There are 31 pairs of spinal nerves, and these are grouped like 8 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral and 1 coccygeal. Okay, each of them is a mixed type of nerve. They will be composed of sensory and motor fibers. These fibers are packed together in the nerve, but they separate near the attachment of the nerve to the spinal cord. They produces 2 roots. I have told you about dorsal root ganglion and ventral root ganglion. So all the afferent fibers will be attached to the dorsal root ganglion, while your efferent fibers will be attached to the ventral root ganglion. And the efferent fibers are further divided into autonomous and somatic fibers, and they are going to form autonomous nervous system and peripheral nervous your somatic nervous system, which are the part of peripheral nervous system. If you want to distinguish it, if you want to compare spinal and cranial nerves, or you want to differentiate between them, you can differentiate easily. You know that they are numbered at C1 to C8, T1 to T12, etc. And cranial nerves are numbered in Roman numerals. While there are in 31 pairs, cranial nerves are in 12 pairs. They originate from spinal cord. Cranial nerve originate from the brain. Their number of roots is 2, and cranial nerves have only 1. Their nature is completely mixed, like they will be sensory and motor. Cranial nerves will either be mixed, motor and sensory. So let's talk about your autonomic nervous system now. When we say autonomous nervous system, so remember, your peripheral nervous system has been subdivided into afferent and efferent division. When we say afferent division, afferent will have the nerve fiber that will carry the information from any organ to the central nervous system, while the central nervous system will transmit its information through efferent fiber, and those efferent fiber then divided into somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. So autonomic nervous system will be formed by those fibers which are having the impulses for your involuntary responses, while somatic nervous system will be formed by those fibers which are sending impulses for voluntary actions. So you can see the term autonomic nervous system, it refers to the collection of motor neurons situated in the head, neck, thorax, abdomen and pelvis, and to the axonal connection of these neurons. Okay, so ganglia are formed by the cell bodies, and like your nerve fiber is formed by your axons. When we say autonomous nervous system, so it will be innervating like our smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, exocrine gland, endocrine glands. Okay, and all these are involuntary branches of the peripheral efferent division. Skeletal muscles are mainly innervated by somatic nervous system. Okay, they are under the voluntary control. When we see autonomic nervous system, we are talking about autonomous nervous system. You are seeing pre-ganglionic neuron. You will see a post-ganglionic neuron. Okay, now let me tell you about this thing. Autonomic nervous system will have pre-ganglionic neuron from central nervous system, a ganglia, and then a post-ganglionic neuron. And even the visceral nervous system, if you have ever read about it, I mean, I have told you this in my previous videos, is itself an autonomous nervous system. It is an autonomic neuron. It is a nervous system which is formed by the autonomic neurons that innervate your visceral organs. Okay, so this autonomic nervous system have a pre-ganglion, then ganglia, and post-ganglionic neuron. I will show you in the next slide. Okay, so pre-ganglion, it is the ganglion that will arise. That will arise from brainstem or spine. Okay, then its fiber will extend to a ganglia, and from that ganglia starts a post-ganglionic neuron. So overall, autonomic nervous system send its impulses through two motor neurons to the effector organ, while we talk about somatic nervous system, unlike your autonomous nervous system, somatic motor neuron project directly from your central nervous system and it directly innervate the tissue. So there is only one motor neuron that will be sending impulses in somatic nervous system, but your autonomous nervous system will have two neurons. So autonomic nervous system has two divisions like sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. How it is divided? It is divided from where this preganglion originate. Okay, preganglion neuron originate from the brain and spinal cord, and the origin of preganglionic fibers and the location of autonomic ganglia help to distinguish the sympathetic and parasympathetic division of your autonomic nervous system. Let's talk about your autonomous nervous systems. Two parts, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Okay, remember, one thing is common in both of these systems. Okay, some things, not only one thing but some things, like they have some common structural features, like they will consist of, this is the pre-ganglionic neuron, they will have ganglia, and then they will have post-ganglionic neuron as well. Okay, but they differs in the position of this pre-ganglionic and post-ganglionic neuron. Okay, so let's talk about sympathetic nervous system first. Sympathicus or sympathetic is the same thing. Okay, you can see in sympathetic nervous system, preganglionic nerve fiber originate in the thoracic or lumbar regions, and hence this division is also called thoracolumbar division. Mostly sympathetic nervous system will have shorter preganglion and longer post post-ganglionic neuron. They will have shorter pre-ganglionic neuron and longer post-ganglionic neuron. While our parasympathetic, its nerve will arise from your midbrain. Okay, you can check it out. It is arising from the brain in midbrain or medulla oblongata, or from the sacral region. And here the your pre-ganglionic neuron is comparatively longer and your post-ganglionic neuron is comparatively shorter. Okay, so this prevertebral ganglia or there are sympathetic preganglion nerve fibers synapse with chromaffin cells of adrenal medulla also. I will tell you this thing in the later century. You understand this thing right now? So sympathetic and parasympathetic preganglionic neuron, they will release the same type of neuron. This will release the same type of neurotransmitter, which is acetylcholine. But post-ganglionic neurons will be releasing different neurotransmitters. For sympathetic post-ganglionic neuron, the neurotransmitter will be norepinephrine, while for post-ganglionic neuron of parasympathetic system, again the neurotransmitter will be acetylcholine. So your sympathetic nervous system neurons are mostly cholinergic neurons. Not mostly, but they also have cholinergic neurotransmitter. Like if the sympathetic post-ganglionic neuron innervate sweat glands, then they are cholinergic. They will release acetylcholine. What they will release? They will release acetylcholine. Otherwise, they are releasing noradrenaline like norepinephrine. But if these sympathetic nerves, the post-ganglionic neurons are innervating sweat glands, they will be releasing acetylcholine. So all motor neurons that will leave the central nervous system will release the acetylcholine neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Okay, so sympathetic has the dominance in fight or flight situations, and parasympathetic has the dominance in rest and digest situation. I hope now you would be able to differentiate them very easily and you won't get confused with anything. Okay, so let's start it and let me tell you each and everything in detail again. Let's check it out. Parasympathetic, it will constrict the pupil. Sympathetic will dilate the same. They will increase the saliva production because they are doing what? They are helping in digest, okay? And it is going to inhibit the saliva production. They will reduce the heart rate. Sympathetic will increase the heart rate by dilating the bronchia, and it will reduce the heart rate by constricting the bronchia, okay? They will stimulate the activity of your digestive organ. They will stimulate the activity of pancreas and gallbladder. But on the other hand, sympathetic nervous system will be inhibiting the activity of your digestive organ, your pancreas and gallbladder. They stimulate the adrenal medulla. I told you about chromaffin cells. So these chromaffin cells, there are sympathetic preganglionic nerve fibers, synapses with chromaffin cells of adrenal medulla. So sympathetic system in nervous system, it stimulates the adrenal medulla to release adrenaline and noradrenaline, while parasympathetic system have no effect on your medulla, in adrenal medulla. Sweat glands of skin will be innervated by sympathetic system, while there will be no effect of parasympathetic system. Similarly, when you have goosebumps, your muscles your erector pili muscles will be stimulated by sympathetic nervous system, while again parasympathetic nervous system will have no role in that. Okay, your urinary bladder is constricted by parasympathetic and it is relaxed by your sympathetic nervous system. The erection of genitalia is caused by parasympathetic, while ejaculation is caused by your sympathetic nervous system. Hope everything is clear to you regarding sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Now in the end, let me tell you about somatic nervous system as well. When we say somatic nervous system, so Though, so motor neuron, whose axon will constitute the somatic nervous system, will supply skeletal muscles and bring about the movement. Like they are motor, so they will bring about the movement. And you know that they are associated with voluntary control of body movement via skeletal muscles. Your somatic nervous system will consist of afferent nerves or sensory nerve and efferent nerves or motor nerves. But the difference is that your somatic nervous system will have the motor neuron, who like the cell bodies of almost all the motor neurons are within the spinal cord, except those neurons which are supplying to the muscles in the head. Their cell bodies will lie in the brainstem, and the number of neurons from central nervous system to effector is 1, while in autonomous nervous system the number of neurons from central nervous system to effector is 2. Most of the neurons are myelinated, and their neurotransmitter is mainly acetylcholine, while the neurotransmitter in autonomous nervous system is acetylcholine, epinephrine, norepinephrine. Okay, they may be myelinated. Remember, autonomic nervous system, preganglionic neurons are myelinated, while postganglionic neurons are non-myelinated. Okay, and number of neurons 1 and 2, and they have mostly excitatory impulses, while autonomic nervous system impulses may be excitatory or inhibitory. So that's all for today. If you want to join an academy for your CSIR net preparation, just go for it. You are having the details of paid classes on your screens. If you want to take the 10% off, you can use the referral code NEHA. Okay, now by using the referral code NEHA, you will be able to get 10% off. This is the referral code of Neha Tanisha ma'am, who herself is an educator on an academy. She's going to mentor you during your preparation, so just go there and follow her. You will be having a lot more to learn on that platform. If you want to, you can, but along with that, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. And if you want to join us anywhere else, like on Telegram, you can check out the description box. On a single click, you will be there with us. That's all for today. Thank you. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye. In the next section, we are going to cover ear and eye. So don't forget to watch the next video. Bye-bye.